Imagine, for a moment, a world untouched by time. 9 million years ago, the sun bleeds across an endless savanna, the heat a visible shimmer over golden grasslands. Here, a small band of Australopithecus afarensis moves with an urgent, silent purpose. They are a hunting party, 6 adults. 2 juveniles, and hunger is a hollow ache in their bellies. Their ribs are stark beneath their skin, their eyes fixed on a single goal. Ahead, a young antelope limps, its lifeblood scenting the wind. The leader, a veteran warrior marked by scars, raises a sharpened stone, a signal. The group freezes, a tableau of coiled tension. A female, knuckles grazing the earth, listens, not for the familiar hiss of wind, but for the whisper of danger. There is only the hum of insects and the distant grumble of thunder. Then, an explosion of motion. They surge forward, a blur of bounding, half bipedal grace. The hunt is on. The wounded antelope bolts, but a thrown hand axe finds its mark with a sickening crack. The herd scatters, leaving their fallen comrade behind. The tribe descends, a whirlwind of instinct and desperation. The leader delivers the final, merciful blow, and the creature's cry fades into the vast, dry air. A victory, raw and sacred, but the earth itself holds its breath. Before the blood can cool, the ground trembles. From the tall grass, a shadow emerges, rippling with muscle and striped fur. A Macharodus, the saber-toothed cat. Its fangs glint like ivory daggers in the sunlight. Its golden eyes lock first on the prize, then on the hunters. Hunger meets hunger. The leader bares his teeth in a low, guttural warning. The others join him, a chorus of defiance. They puff out their chests, stamp their feet, and hurl stones, their screams tearing from deep within. The great cat crouches, its tail twitching, a pendulum marking the seconds between life and death. For a single, eternal heartbeat, the world stops. Then, the lunge. Chaos erupts, a storm of shrieks, dust, and blood. One of the females goes down, the cat's claws ripping across her thigh. The leader strikes back, his stone tool carving a red line across the predator's flank. The cat spins, jaws snapping, missing him by inches. They have faced droughts and storms, but this is a different kind of monster. With a roar that shakes the very air, the Macharodus claims the carcass. The leader, his own roar, a final act of defiance, makes a choice. Survival over pride. He grabs the wounded female's arm, pulling her to her feet. The tribe flees into the open savanna, the cats growl fading behind them like swallowed thunder. They carry what little meat they could salvage, their victory now a bitter memory. The wounded female limps, supported by her kin, her blood staining the earth and drawing a grim procession of flies and circling vultures. The youngest, a small male with bright, watchful eyes, mimics the adults, a strip of hide clutched in his mouth. Hours pass under a relentless sun. The wind shifts, carrying a new scent. Smoke. Alarm flares in the leader's eyes. A wildfire! Orange tongues of flame lick the horizon, racing across the dry grass. Panic, pure and primal, propels them into a desperate sprint. The fire roars behind them, a living, breathing beast devouring everything in its path. They reach a sparse line of trees as smoke curls around them like grasping fingers. Up! The leader gestures, and they scramble into the branches, clinging to bark into each other as the inferno sweeps beneath them. Leaves crisp, branches crack, but the canopy offers a fragile sanctuary. They huddle in the smoke-choked twilight, coughing, wounded, but alive. Below, the world glows an eerie, hellish red. When dawn breaks, it reveals a landscape of black and gray. The savanna is a skeleton. They climb down into a world that smells of ash and death. Food is gone. Shelter gone. The wounded female can barely move. The youngest presses his face to her arm, a soft whimper escaping his lips. But the leader, Isagasi, is hard. They need water. A points east, and they follow a broken procession across a scorched earth. where bones gleam like forgotten promises. By midday, the sun is a white-hot furnace. One of the juveniles collapses from thirst, his small body trembling. The others gather around, their breath coming in ragged pants. The sky offers no clouds, no mercy. And then, a flicker, a shimmer on the horizon. Water! They staggered towards a narrow, half-dried river. But it is real. Relief crashes over them in a primal wave. They fall to their knees, drinking, splashing, washing away the ash and the fear. For a moment, life returns. The young male even manages a short, breathy laugh. But the wild is not done with them. Across the river, emerging from the reeds, another group appears. 5 hominids taller, broader. Their faces unfamiliar, a rival band with heavier weapons and hungrier eyes. The air crackles with an ancient tension, territory, survival, dominance. The leader steps forward, palms raised in a gesture that could mean peace or warning. The rival leader answers by hurling a rock that splashes at his feet. The message is brutally clear. The two groups collide like thunderclouds. Stones and fists fly. The river, their source of life, runs red. The wounded female falls again, and the young male tries desperately to shield her. The leader fights with the fury of a cornered animal, his flint tool shattering a rival's jaw. A blow to his own head sends his world spinning. When the violence subsides, only the survivors remain, battered and gasping. The rival band has retreated, leaving the water stained and trembling. The leader rises slowly, his face a mask of blood and ash. His tribe gathers around him, fewer now. The young male still clutches the hand of the wounded female. She is barely breathing. The leader kneels, his eyes dark with a sorrow that needs no words. He presses his forehead to hers in a final farewell. They bury her in the soft river mud, covering her with ash and grass. In a child's simple tribute, the young male places her broken stone tool beside her hand. Evening falls, painting the sky in shades of indigo. The survivors sit by the water, huddled around a small, precious fire. The leader takes the last of the antelope meat, splitting it with a sharp stone, passing a piece to each of them. They eat in a silence heavy with ritual, remembrance, and renewal. The youngest watches the flames dance against the blackened plain. He reaches out a tiny hand, not in fear, but in wonder. He sees the fire for what it is: destroyer and protector, terror and hope. Above them, the stars kindle, ancient eyes in the vast darkness. The air is cooler now, cleaner. The leader looks toward the distant hills, already seeing the next journey. The next trial. Around him, his tribe presses close. Their shared warmth a fragile fortress against the endless wild. On that silent savanna, 9.1 million years ago, life endured, scarred, hunted, grieving, but unbroken. The ashes of the burned earth carried the scent of renewal. And the wind, the same wind that would one day whisper through our cities, moved softly across their faces, bearing witness to the first great truth of our kind. To survive is to remember, and to remember ... is to live. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more glimpses into the deep past. We'll see you on the next adventure.